Welcome to Lit. Today I will be talking about company culture. And since this is kind of a red flag topic, I've turned red. I warned you. Could be polarizing opinions. First of all, I should explain what I mean, what company culture means to me. It's company culture values which are encouraged among the employees within a company, and I would say we can agree that everybody would like to work with like-minded people. Me personally, I want to work with people which can inspire me, which are much smarter than me, so they can pull me towards my personal growth. I wouldn't like to work with colleagues which are lazy and it's just a work from 9 to 5, and they are searching for ways how to not work, let's say, which is in corporate companies pretty common. And here comes the polarizing opinion, and it already started happening kind of, I would say, like a couple of years back. A lot of big layoffs in companies, even including like Microsoft or some smaller startups. My opinion is like 20% of those people could be laid off immediately, and nobody would see a difference, because there are many people there which just enjoy their coffee and small talks in the kitchen. They don't even go to work for 8 hours. When they are at work, they are looking at social media and whatnot, but when they are on meetings, they are the most vocal ones. They are also the most vocal ones on Slack or other chat communication within a company. And I certainly don't want to work with people like those. So that's essentially how I'm looking at company culture and what does it mean to me. You definitely heard some terms or phrases or cliches like togetherness, meaning we help each other. Work-life balance is a very common topic, I would say. And one thing is what the company is telling you. You will have possibilities to have a great work-life balance, but the reality often could be completely opposite. Another cliche could be best idea wins, or challenge the status quo. But again, in my experience, not necessarily the best idea wins, but challenge the status quo. That's something nobody likes in reality. It definitely depends on particular people, a particular company. But if the situation is like there are tons of problems, and people are basically hopeless, burnt out, and don't want to do anything about it because they lost hope, challenging status quo in that case doesn't help you. It will, on the contrary, put you on a pedestal of someone who complains. And last but not least, again, a polarizing topic, LGBTQ plus / everyone can be themselves, originally unique. I like the idea in general, like I'm really not making fun of any group of people. But again, the reality is very different in my experience. And what it means in the end is, first and foremost, in a corporate, you need to be politically correct. You can't hurt anyone's feelings. That's the most important. In my world, I would like to be judged by my outcomes, how I do my work, what's leaving behind me. But if you are the best worker, employee, you are just outperforming anyone and everyone within your team area of the company or whatnot, and you are not politically correct each and every time you lost. This topic is basically about sticking to these values has double standard. The company usually wants you as a regular employee to follow and abide all those rules and company culture values. But if it happens once in a while that someone from higher rank or leadership is violating those company culture values, rarely it has any repercussions. So that's leaving a foul taste in my mouth, and it's kind of BS in the end. Another topic concerning company culture is whether you work on-site, hybrid, or completely remote. Definitely COVID changed that a lot. These days it's coming back, and a lot of companies expect hybrid, being 2 or 3 days in an office per week. And me personally, I like it. Even though I'm introvert, I like to spend time in the office, because I believe, maybe another polarizing opinion, that the only way how you can establish and cherish relationships with people is when you are on site with them, seeing each other face to face, chatting over a coffee or something like that. I don't believe this is possible in remote. And some of the younger generations would disagree with me, which is great. I would like to hear your opinions and how you feel about this hybrid, remote, or on-site. I will explain to you how I, as an introvert, judge company culture during the hiring process, not working there, and later how I judge company culture being in the company for months or years. During the hiring process, usually these days, most of the meetings are online, and only one, the last one, or at some later stages, let's say, you are invited to the company for a face-to-face meeting with your manager or your colleagues. Sometimes it's lunch. I've had one great experience being on a team building prior to starting for the company. I was already hired, but I didn't know anybody. Okay, back again to how I see company culture being hired. So when I see either on PR, HR videos, and or face-to-face when I visit the company, where I see too many smiling faces, too many cool-looking people, it's kind of a red flag for me, like because it seems almost like a cult. And I keep my mind open. I would ideally like to work in a company culture like that, where everybody is forthcoming, friendly, smiling all the time. But in reality, you have good days, you have bad days, and when you meet, I don't know, a couple of people face to face during the hiring process, and while being at the company, you see dozens of other people when you just pass by, when they give you a tour through the company. I would say the realistic expectation is that you will see someone who is not smiling, or someone who is arguing with someone else, maybe even, because that's the reality. I would say, on the contrary, when I'm hired and either online or face-to-face in the company, when I hear about some flaws and difficulties they have in the company, in no matter what kind, if it's like, I don't know, product process, strategy, I don't know, roadmap planning, or if it's like customer satisfaction, when I hear those tidbits about some obstacles, possible obstacles or flaws or problems That's a green flag for me. If the company isn't afraid to admit that during the hiring process, for me personally, it means I could have much more realistic expectations from building the relationships there, etc. Basically, it seems to me there won't be a BS company culture. How I judge company culture after spending a couple of months or years at the company. I've mentioned before the double standards, and that happens in most cases. Like the company culture values apply to the majority of regular employees, IC roles, some middle management, etc. But higher management and leadership, they don't have to abide those rules. If this happens, that's a BS company culture to me. Sorry. Worst examples, what I've experienced during 20 years, 12 or so companies. I've experienced sexual harassment from a female manager to basically everyone. She was just too obsessed talking about her personal intimate life and things like that, which was very very uncomfortable, I have to say. When I was the first day at the company, she had a bottle opener in a shape of a penis, and she was poking me with it, making some funny joke. So at that time I was thinking like run away, but I couldn't, yeah, I was thinking let's be open-minded. Maybe it will be a nice environment where there is no BS and when there is fun and whatever. I've experienced mobbing, bullying at one company. I found out one of my female colleague was bullied by another colleague. He was quite smart about it, as is the usual case. He was doing it only one-on-one with her, and for months I didn't know. But after I found out, I basically made a scene, and in 1 month, my female colleague who was bullied and me, we left the company. And the guy is still working there, obviously. The same applies for the female manager sexually harassing other colleagues. So yeah, that's sad. That's the reality. And if this happens, it's time to move on. Like no money in the world or no situation in the world is unchangeable, and it's not worth spending time in a toxic company like that. I personally value honesty, no BS, and direct approach. The direct approach I could explain on a cliche about Americans versus, for instance, Czech people or German people. We Czech have much more in common with Germans than we would like to admit. One of the cliché about Germans is they are no fun, but they can be fun. Let's say you effed up something in your work, and you are hearing feedback from your American colleagues. So usually it's like, awesome, great job, I see you've made a lot of effort, you've spent a lot of time on it, but please try to do it again. Versus Czech or German, it could be like, what the F, we didn't agree on this, why you did that or didn't do that, and some arguments and constructive discussion follows. You know what you've done wrong, and this communication for me is key. I know that in these days, minority of people welcome this kind of communication, and minority of people are able to give that kind of direct feedback, as well receive this direct feedback. Another good example of BS communication could be, let's say you are 2 years in a company, you want a bigger salary. Let's say there is a precondition that you are very, very valuable to the company. You feel like you deserve it. And this is not cultural specific. You could hear like there is not a good time for it because the company is not doing very well and blah blah blah. Various kind of BS. On the other hand, if you say I'm very sorry after those conversations which went wrong before, like you've already asked and you've already heard this BS excuses, and after that, if you say I'm very sorry, but I will have to leave, I think I will have opportunity elsewhere, suddenly, like from nowhere, there is the possibility to get a pay raise. And there are like whole procedures for this kind of situations in any company, and it's very sad to me that it has to work this way. Once I was in a situation like that, and after a year and a half or 2 years, maybe even longer, I was working 2 jobs, one full-time in a big corporate, like, I don't know, 16,000 employees. And I went through a couple of those BS, not a good time, sorry, blah, blah. And when I said I've started going to interviews, in 2 months I had the salary raise I wanted. And I stayed there in the company for another year approximately, but the foul taste remained for me. So then I switched anyway. For me, and it could be just me, and it could be just very few percentage of people, these things, this kind of communication and BS, that really matters to me. And if somebody is not respecting me for a smart person who knows how it works, too bad. Time for a change. Another quick topic is about a manager. You either can have a people manager who doesn't know your field of expertise, but he is an experienced people manager who is trying to help you grow. He is curious about your needs and wants. Or you could have a manager who is partially a people manager and partially he's skilled in the field you are working, designer, front-end developer, whatever. And on the contrary, there could be like insecure people manager who tends to micromanages you. Your manager is the most important person in a company. You are very well aware of it. That's it. This one will be a shorter one, I guess. Let me know what you think. What are your experiences? What is your ideal company culture? See you in the next video. Stay true.